People are leaving CS2 in masses, and this is causing a lot of frustration in the CS2 community, as the CS2 market prices crash isn't helping either. We are going to discuss all of this, as well as the reason why CS2 is losing its hype, and what to expect from Valve in 2024. So let's start with a tweet from Aquarius, where he criticized other content creators who think that CS2 has failed, and currently turning into a dead game. Well, I totally agree that CS2 is not dead, and probably will never be, but some of the recent data that we are going to show here is indicating a decline in the player count, but I think this is just a temporary drop. So according to CS2 player count trackers, the game has lost over 260,000 players in the last 2 months, and seems like this number won't be going up until we see new content or a major change to the game. As for the skin prices, most of the skins has lost 10 to 18% of its value in the past 60 days. This came as a result of the overhype we saw from many players during the CS2 launch period. When that hype died down, obviously markets are going to be affected. If you have invested in some skins before the launch, hopefully you only invested what you can afford to lose. Otherwise, it would have been a bad investment. For me personally, I invested in some of the items, but I'm not in a rush to sell, so the best course of action for now is to ride the downward wave until it stops, and then prices will slowly start to pick up. And before we move to the next section, let's hear words from today's sponsor. You wanna buy the most legendary CS2 items for a huge discount? Then you might need to check out skin auctions. All you have to do is bid on the items you want to win, and if you are the last person to bid when the timer runs out, you get to buy the skin for a very cheap price. Get your first free bids by using the code Zephyr when you sign up, and check the website every day to get more free tokens. Thanks Skin Auctions for sponsoring this video. On the other side, the Blast Premier Fall Finals of 2023 had some promising numbers compared to last year's event. This year's version experienced only 10,000 less viewers at its peak viewership, but with around 16,000 more viewers on average. The 2023 Blast Premier Fall Finals became the 11th most watched Counter-Strike event of 2023. Some of these viewers are also coming from players who want to learn how pro players with the current state of the game and to discover more strategies from them. So if the tournament viewership is promising, why are people leaving the game? First reason is the lack of content. We are still lacking many of the basic features that CSGO once offered. A good portion of players are casual players who only play Danger Zone and Arm Races and don't care much about competitive matchmaking. And since these modes aren't there yet, many of these players have left to other games. I also want to mention that the recent addition of workshop maps have reduced the number of players lost this month. Players who prefer to play on custom maps in community servers can now do that, especially the Surf and the Hide and Seek community. Currently, we don't know what Valve is cooking for the next year. It can be an operation, a new case, we still don't know yet, but it's pretty unlikely that we are going to see major changes in December, as most of corporations go on holiday around the end of the year, and the latest update we have received from Valve was 7 days ago. As for the last direct communication piece we had from Valve, is this interview article from PC Gamer with the Valve developer. If you haven't read the article yet, here are the main key points that Valve discussed. They stated that Dust 2 is Valve's main inspiration when developing new maps, as they focus on maps that are beginner friendly and offer many routes and paths to change strategies. Also, Valve reassures players that they haven't forgotten about the popular game modes in CS2. They expressed their intention to reintroduce these modes and even explore new ones, but currently they are putting all their effort into creating a solid gameplay experience, and once is that achieved, they will start focusing on new content. They are also aiming to release a new weapon soon that will help in situations where the current weapons fail. I think the new weapon could be competing with the AK-47, maybe like weaker but a silent version of the AK. This is just speculation, but it would be interesting to have a silent rifle on the T side. As to the future of the game, Valve aimed to make CS2 the ultimate destination for every first-person shooter enthusiast, acknowledging that the game's future remain open-ended and adaptable to the evolving needs and preferences of its players. This was the last piece of communication we have received from Valve, but there are other problems that their recent interview haven't addressed yet, which is contributing to the lack of new players, is the cheaters and the incompetence of Faceit. We were promised a reliable anti-cheat with CS2, but Valve still have to deliver on this. Each other game now have cheaters playing, and it's causing a lot of players to lose motivation in playing competitive, since these cheaters doesn't seem to be punished when they are reported. There have been a statement from Richard Lewis that have gone viral on Reddit. Richard is an esport journalist, so let's hear what he has to say about the Valve anti-cheat situation.
Please, everybody, remember, there was meant to be an announcement about a new VAC in the original hype video and the hype announcement and the hype release, but they changed it. And what that tells me is they're still cooking in the kitchen. And what do you think they've been doing? all this time. Why do you think they turned off Overwatch, right? What do you think Overwatch was? Gabe Newell is on record saying it will be easy to make an AI anti-cheat, just takes time and it just takes data. But we can do it, and we're gonna do it.
So he stated that the AI anti-cheat will need more time to learn in order to get better at detecting cheaters. And there is a superior version of VAC Live that's being worked on currently. This version supposedly is coming soon. I really hope that this turns out to be true, as many players are frustrated with cheaters to the point that they would love to get a privacy invading anti-cheat than the current one. What do you think about this? Do you prefer an AI anti-cheat or a privacy invading anti-cheat? Let us know in the comments. And speaking of cheaters, there have been a recent game ban wave. This ban comes from VACnet detecting abnormal behaviors from a demo file. As we all know, VAC bans are given by Valve's anti-cheat system, and it's automatic. But game bans can be given by game developers themselves, and mostly comes from an Overwatch case. Game bans can be expanded to VAC bans if the user in question is being caught by VAC. Many players with large inventories have been caught in the recent wave. So far, the people banned from the bug still haven't unbanned. So let's see if this turns out to be true when Valve addresses this issue. And it seems like the CS2 scene is still divided between all of these ban waves and the issues in the game. There is currently a case right now where if you have the red badge in your inventory, you might be at the risk of getting a game ban as well. Check this video to find out why.